Mr. Obsidian, welcome to the multiverse.
Hey Raven, you know anything about One Hope United, perhaps?
Oh, I know a bit about that organization, to be sure. Not as much as Nuzo, but some things you two might not have put together in your investigation. Operated an orphanage for children.
Operated an orphanage for children?
One Hope United is a non-profit organization founded in 1895 that provides child welfare, early childhood education, behavioral health, and residential services in Florida and Illinois. The organization is headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. The president and CEO is Dr. Damon Cates. One Hope United was founded on October 8, 1895 in Downers Grove, Illinois, under the name Chicago Baptist Orphanage. The organization initially operated an orphanage for children and by 1913 had expanded to 4 orphanages located in Downers Grove, Berwyn, Chicago, and Maywood. Over time, the organization transitioned from institutional orphan care to a broader service model that includes foster care, family services, and behavioral health programs. Prior to adopting its current name, the organization operated as Central Baptist Children's Home and later Kids Hope United. The name One Hope United was adopted in 2010. In May 2024, Damon Cates was appointed President and Chief Executive Officer after serving in an interim capacity beginning in September 2023. Prior to his appointment, Cates served as the organization's Chief Advancement Officer. One Hope United provides a range of services related to child welfare and family support, including early childhood education and child development centers, foster care and adoption services, family and youth support programs, behavioral and mental health services, residential care and group home programs, crisis assessment and intervention services. Hope Houses is a residential care model operated by One Hope United for adolescents involved with the child welfare system, including youth with juvenile justice involvement. The program utilizes small family-style homes rather than larger institutional group care facilities. As of the mid-2020, One Hope United operates programs in Florida and Illinois. The organization has operated Hope Houses in Florida since 2020 and expanded the model to Illinois with the opening of its first location in Rockford in 2025. According to publicly available nonprofit filings, One Hope United serves more than 10,000 children and families annually through its combined programs. One Hope United runs Hope Houses, a program for boys and girls ages 13 to 17 who are involved in child and family services and are often duly involved with juvenile justice, according to the organization's site. This has led to juvenile justice court involvement in non-juvenile children's cases being heard in a juvenile justice court and a probate court in the same case. One Hope United claims and touts a high honesty rate when it is in fact incredibly dishonest. One Hope United has faced several investigations and legal actions regarding the safety of children in its care. Key incidents include a 2023 investigation into a staff member for explicit abuse and lawsuits alleging failure to protect children, including cases involving wrongful death. An explicit abuse case from 2023 to 2024. A former employee at One Hope United in Centralia, Illinois was charged and pleaded guilty to aggravated criminal explicit abuse of youth at the facility. The organization has been involved in litigation regarding allegations that it failed to protect children from abuse or neglect, including a case involving the death of a child in foster care. In 2019, a federal lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of Illinois naming One Hope United as a defendant. Meanwhile, while these public officers in Florida had this to say in defense of One Hope United's cash for kidnapping scheme under the guise of a legitimate program. Quote, "I know enough to know there was a culture of deception, incompetence, and a treatment of taxpayer funds as if it was their own kind of personal piggy bank, and that just guides our role and responsibility as legislators going forward," the chair of the House Health Care Budget Subcommittee, Alex Andrade, R. Pensacola, told reporters after Thursday's brief meeting. "I'll leave the rest of the investigation up to the FBI and Department of Justice." End quote. Governor Ron DeSantis and his wife held an event in St. Augustine to highlight what they say are the successes of Hope Florida. Hope Florida aims to connect families in need with faith-based community services. The governor posted on X Thursday that Hope Florida is the conservative answer to big government social welfare programs. Governor DeSantis has called the House investigation an attempt to smear the program and attack his wife. There are reports that Mrs. DeSantis is considering her own run for governor. Chair Andrade delivered prepared remarks outlining the timeline and findings of the subcommittee's investigation. September 2024. The state entered a $67 million agreement with the company Centene for Medicaid overbilling. Chair Andrade said AHCA made no public announcement about the settlement. Florida Hope Foundation received $10 million as part of that settlement. October 2024, the foundation gave a $5 million grant to secure Florida's future. A nonprofit connected to the Florida Chamber of Commerce and Save Our Society from Drugs. The House Subcommittee investigation found soon thereafter those two political groups made contributions totaling $8.5 million to keep Florida clean, which is Florida. Attorney General James Uthmeyer's Political Action Committee, Keep Florida Clean, actively campaigned against the November ballot initiative to legalize recreational marijuana, which failed with less than 60% of the vote. One Hope contracts with the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services to provide services with the objective of keeping troubled families together. Marshana died while her family participated in One Hope's program. The Cook County Public Guardian, as administrator of Marshana's estate, filed a wrongful death case to recover damages against One Hope and Marshana's mother, alleging that One Hope failed to protect Marshana from abuse or neglect and should not have allowed Marshana to be returned to her mother because of her unfavorable history and failure to complete parenting classes. Attorneys for the Public Guardian deposed the executive director of One Hope, who revealed the existence of a priority review report regarding Marshana's case. The priority review process considers whether One Hope's services were professionally sound, identifies gaps in service delivery, and evaluates whether certain outcomes have been successful or unsuccessful. The Public Guardian moved to compel production of the report. One Hope argued that the report was protected from disclosure by the self-critical analysis privilege. The Circuit Court determined that the privilege did not apply. The Appellate Court and Illinois Supreme Court affirmed. Relevant legislative acts and omissions evince a public policy determination by the General Assembly that the type of information sought in discovery here is not subject to a self-critical analysis privilege. One Hope contracts with the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, to provide services with the objective of keeping troubled families together. 7-month-old Marshana Philpott died while her family participated in One Hope's Intact Family Services program. The Cook County Public Guardian, acting as administrator of Marshana's estate, filed this wrongful death case to recover damages against One Hope, its employee Pixie Davis, and Marshana's mother, LaShawna Philpott. The complaint alleges, inter alia, that DCFS received a complaint about LaShawna's neglect and or abuse of Marshana. DCFS investigated the complaint and assigned the matter to One Hope. One Hope began monitoring the Philpott family for counseling services. At one point, Marshana was hospitalized for failure to thrive. When she was discharged, DCFS ordered that she live with her aunt, Marlene.
You mean
Failure.
You mean failure to thrive? You mean
failure to thrive.
Yeah?
When she was discharged, DCFS ordered that she live with her aunt, Marlene Parsons. Under Mrs. Parsons' care, the child began to thrive. Eventually, Marshana was returned to the care of her mother. According to the complaint, the child subsequently drowned when LaShawna left her unattended.
No.
The complaint alleges that One Hope failed to protect Marshana from abuse or neglect and should not have allowed Marshana to be returned to her mother because of her unfavorable history and
What?
her failure to complete parenting classes. In the course of this litigation, attorneys for the public guardian deposed the executive director of One Hope, who revealed the existence of a priority review report regarding Marshana's case. According to the director, One Hope has a continuous quality
How could you
review
let your child
department,
drown?
which investigates cases and prepares these reports. The priority review process considers whether One Hope's services were professionally sound, identifies gaps in service delivery, and evaluates whether certain outcomes have been successful or unsuccessful. After One Hope refused to produce the report in response
So
to
let
a
me get this
discovery
straight.
request, the public guardian
I'll let you
moved to
finish.
compel its production. One Hope resisted, asserting that the report was protected from disclosure by the self-critical analysis privilege. The Circuit Court of Cook County determined that the privilege did not apply and ordered One Hope to produce the priority review report. The court found that One Hope's refusal to produce the report after being ordered to do so was contumacious. To facilitate One Hope's request for appellate review of the privilege issue, the court found One Hope's law firm in friendly contempt of court.
Friendly
and fined
contempt
it
of court.
$1 per day.
$1
The
per
Illinois
day.
Department of Children and Family Services had been warned about possible abuse and neglect, but the staff assigned to protect them ultimately failed, according to state officials and records obtained by the Tribune. More than 200 children with prior DCFS involvement were slain from 2000 through 2011.
Slain.
Records show, but the facts rarely were made public, largely because of confidentiality laws. The DCFS Office of Inspector General investigates such deaths, but its annual report does not include names or hometowns. Trying to put faces on some of these children and tell their stories, the Tribune compared the death summaries contained in the most recent report against police, court, prison, and medical examiner records.
Oh, geez.
Confidential DCFS and hospital documents also were obtained. The Inspector General's 2012 report, in which DCFS or its contractual workers made serious errors, broke rules, or falsified case notes. DCFS tries to explain these failures by isolating the problem to an individual worker instead of looking at the bigger picture, Cook County Public Guardian Robert Harris said. But if your caseloads are too high and you have poorly trained workers dealing with extremely complex cases and issues, that's a systemic failing. DCFS officials have moved to try to reduce caseloads, close overdue investigations, and unclog the state's child abuse hotline shortcomings, reported by the Tribune in recent months. Every death, they say, is troubling, and if worker error is to blame, appropriate discipline is pursued.
More like judge error.
The most recent published data on abuse-related fatalities of DCFS involved children show Illinois has a slightly higher rate than other states. One Hope United may have ties to hidden political lobbying in China. If One Hope in China is related to One Hope United in Illinois and in Florida, which are more than likely is because all of those are child welfare programs, even the Chinese one. So what is a foreign non-governmental organization from China?
You said China?
Yeah, it's not governmental, so it doesn't have to register with the Attorney General under the Foreign Agent Registration Act.
What?
Which has got to be some form of deception or fraud.
Yeah?
This leads me to believe it may be some sort of foreign international communist front organization.
Ooh.
Allegedly you guys and your freedom of speech problems.
I tell you what, yeah, we got a problem, don't we?
Anyway, old man, I hope this helps. I gotta go try to get this information out of this public official, but I'll be back, no worries. Don't die on me, you gotta be older than dirt or something.
It's only 10 years. Fuck out of here. You got any paperwork to go along with that? You got any, evidence? Sweet, thanks. Catch you later. I'll let you get out of here. Gotta get back to these cases. Thanks.
I am Mr. Obsidian. Welcome to the multiverse.